Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, I'm back in my 2013 Range Rover Vogue SE, and I just thought I'd do an update video. A few people asked me to do one, so here it is. I bought this car in February this year, February 2020, and it had done 53,000 miles. It's now done 63,000 miles, so I've done 10,000 miles in it, and it's taken me all the way to southern Spain and back, so I do know the car quite well now. Today I thought I'd talk with you a bit more about what it's cost me, whether anything's gone wrong, how good it is on fuel, what other costs I've incurred, all that sort of stuff. So here are the bills then, since I've owned it. Just kidding. They're actually here. Right. Before we get onto that, I've got to say thank you to today's video sponsor. Now today's video is sponsored by SurfShark. Now I know you're all going to whinge about me having a video sponsor again, but it's video sponsors who help pay these enormous bills, which I'm about to show you. So just give me 60 seconds of your attention and then I promise we'll get onto the juicy bills. Interestingly, Surfshark have improved their offer since last time, so now they're offering 84% off and 4 months totally free if you use my promo code, which is HighPeakAutos. I'll leave the link below. If you've never heard of Surfshark, they're a VPN service provider. What that does is basically protects your data and your details while you're online, meaning you're far less likely to be ripped off or scammed. It encrypts all your data both to and from your devices. It hides your IP address and keeps it blocked so cyber thieves can't view it. It blocks malware, phishing, ads, which in turn can speed up your bandwidth and make your device run much quicker. You can download the app very easily from the App Store and use it on multiple devices, and it's really easy to use. We're all online a huge amount of time now, so it's just better to protect all your data and your details. This is especially important if you use public Wi-Fi frequently, such as at fast food restaurants or airports or train stations. This is when you're most vulnerable. The last thing I want to do is get my card hacked, which has happened to me in the past, or my account hacked. It's just a headache that I don't need. So with Surfshark, the chance of that happening are much more slim. Another byproduct of using Surfshark is that for streaming sites such as Netflix, you can change your location settings. So this allows you to watch programs from other countries, which you weren't allowed to watch beforehand. So if you shop online, do online banking, or just want to stream things from other countries, definitely check out Surfshark. So once again, the promo code is HighPeakAutos, or go on to surfshark.deals/HighPeakAutos and you'll automatically get that discount. There we go. Wasn't too painful, was it? Right, so on to these horrendous bills. So it was MOT'd before I got it. So I bought it with 53,200 miles on the clock, and it has now done 63,150 miles. So exactly 10,000 miles. Right, let me get this in order then. So after a few months of having it, there was a bit of a knock on the front end whenever you went over a bump or a pothole. Now these are quite heavy cars, so I know they can wear out things like suspension arms. So I probably could have lived with this for a little bit longer, but I've got mild OCD and that knocking noise was starting to annoy me. So it turned out to be an offside and near side front track control arm, and offside and near side bottom rear arms. These were quite expensive, to be fair. So the track control arms were £278, the bottom rear arms were £176, and the labour was £156, bringing my total to £610 plus the VAT. So that cured the knock-in. The next thing I had done, it was due a service. My service indicator came on. So I took it to Hatfields in Pickering. Now you might ask why I drove 2 hours away to a Land Rover dealer when I could have just gone to Guy Salmon or somewhere like that. But a viewer got in touch with me who works at Hatfields, so I thought it'd be better to take it there to somebody who's actually passionate and interested in cars rather than some disinterested person at another Land Rover garage. So I was quoted for a full service. This was an 84-month or 112,000 mile service. I had this done in, when did I have it done? July sometime. I had this done a couple of days before I took it to Spain, so again another reason. Before I took it on such a long journey, I thought I'd better get it all done. So I was quoted £600 for the full service at Land Rover, which I didn't think was too bad, to be honest. I dropped it off there, left it with them for a couple of days. They lent me a brand new Discovery Sport, which I enjoyed. So yeah, a really pleasant experience. Now, while I was there, and I'm almost ashamed to admit this, but I bought a Land Rover warranty. It turns out this car was still eligible for a proper Land Rover warranty. So I thought the fact that I was taking it on a long European jaunt, I better take out the warranty. It's you guys, by the way, that have put this into my head that this car is somehow any less reliable than any other 7-year-old car. Anyway, so I took out a warranty, which cost, I didn't pay for this all in one go because you can pay on a monthly direct debit. It was £1,400 a year for that Land Rover warranty, but it's quite comprehensive. Now, in order to qualify for that warranty, they had to do an inspection on the car. So, bear with me now because it gets a little bit complicated. I was into £600 for the service. They did an inspection on the car to make sure that it was eligible for the warranty for free, but found a few issues with it. So, now this is quite a common issue on these cars. It had an oil leak around the breather on the turbo, and this is quite a common issue, so it had to have a modified breather pipe. Now that was £640, right? So when you add that plus the bits and bobs, that total job cost £848.48. Along with the service, it also had the CV boots were split, so it needed both of those replacing. That was £120. And also my bonnet badge was tarnished, so a few of the letters had started to peel. Now this is a really common issue, and I could have gone on eBay and bought a new badge for £10, but they're not quite right. And whenever I've tried to do them myself, you end up getting the badges and the letters all crooked, and it ends up looking like the Hollywood sign. So while it was in, I just got Land Rover to do it. Now that is quite expensive. So they charge out £50 for the word Range, £50 for the word Rover, plus I think, well, I'll tell you. So £40 for the word Range, £47 for the word Rover, plus VAT, plus fitting. So that was £200. I could have done it myself for £10, but it would have never been right. So my total trip out to Hatfield cost me £2,200 on the nose. But I know you're going to say that's terrible, which it is. I was a little bit shocked. The turbo breather thing is quite a common issue. That would have cost me the same sort of money anywhere else, and it's had a full service at Land Rover. The badges I could have done myself, like I say, I could have saved some money there. So yeah, £2,200 plus the £732 I spent doing the suspension arms. What else have I spent? Oh, the other night, one of my headlamp bulbs went out and the other one started to flicker like a strobe light on the waltzers. So I took it to my local mechanic, where it needed 2 new xenon gas, methane, whatever they are, bulbs, and they cost £60 each for a bulb. So that cost me another £120. While it was in Hatfields for its service, they advised me that both front and rear brake pads were wearing thin, and the price they quoted was quite expensive, to be fair. So I knew there was enough meat left to get me to Spain, so I had them done when I was in Spain because I was leaving the very next morning. So I got them fitted in Spain at a local garage, where brake pads, by the way, the Spanish is pastillas de freno, which literally means brake cake. So I got my brake cakes changed in Spain, and I think it cost about €200. Oh, also, I caught that wing mirror on the barrier at Malaga Airport. Being a right-hand drive car, I was trying to lean over and ended up scraping it. Only sort of marked the back of it, so when it came back, I had that painted. Apart from that, it's been spot on. It drove me to Spain in absolute comfort, and all the way there, full of people and things. The boot was fully loaded with all sorts of stuff. I was doing 36 miles per gallon. And the fuel tank's that big, it actually got me. I filled up before I left, then I filled up again in at the Eurotunnel down south, and it only took half a tank or whatever. So that full tank of fuel then got me all the way through France, where fuel's ridiculously expensive, across the border to Spain. Because on a full tank of diesel on a motorway journey, it'll do 750 miles to a tank. It's incredible. And also, fuel-wise, when I drove this up to Pickering Land Rover, the 2-hour journey, I averaged 38 miles per gallon from a 4.4 litre turbocharged V8. On the way back, in the 2 litre Ingenium turbo diesel engine in the Discovery Sport, which they lent me, I was only averaging 37.2. So this big hefty V8 was better on fuel than that Discovery Sport. They're really incredible, these. I'm sorry to hear that they're axing this engine. They've instead gone with an inline 6 from BMW, because this Ford-derived 4.4 V8 is just superb. And it's just proved everything that I always thought. The smaller the engine, the harder it has to work and the more fuel it burns. Whereas with a big lazy V8 like this, it hardly has to rev, so it's better on fuel. Also, while I was driving through France, I picked up a small chip which has now developed into a crack on the windscreen from a little French stone. So what's this cost me then so far? We've got £2,200 with Land Rover, we've got £732, then we've got £120 for bulbs, £220-ish for the brake pads fitted, and £50 or so to paint the wing mirror. So the total in repairs and servicing costs, can't just say repairs, that's a bit unfair, is £3,222 for 10,000 miles, which I admit is horrendous, but I'm hoping now there shouldn't be any more money to spend on this car. And of course now I've got this Land Rover warranty, I've just got peace of mind now if anything breaks. Not my problem. There is one fault actually, which I need to get booked in with Land Rover. I noticed it a couple of months ago. It's got a dodgy passenger door mechanism. So, as you're driving along, it auto locks. If the passenger tries to get out when you pull up before you've let them out, before you've unlocked the door, it just sort of has a bit of a fit and won't open. Then the passenger has to climb over the back, which isn't very dignified in a Range Rover. So that's everything I've spent on my Range Rover for the last 10,000 miles of ownership. That doesn't include fuel. A tank of fuel costs £100. Doesn't include road tax, which costs £550 a year. But honestly, if you can afford one of these cars, they are the best cars to buy. I wouldn't drive anything else. I love it. And when the time comes to replace it, I will just replace it with a newer version. They're superb. They're honestly the best cars in the world. I don't want to sound like a complete sycophant, like a Land Rover sympathist or a Land Rover apologiser. But any 7-year-old luxury car could have had those issues that I've just mentioned. Apart from the turbo thing leaking, the rest of it was just general wear and tear, things like brake pads and service items. Nothing else has actually broken or left me stranded or anything like that. And I've got complete confidence with it. No, they're just brilliant cars. I mean, you're obviously welcome to disagree with me, but I think if you're disagreeing with me, you haven't owned one or driven one, because there's nothing else like it. So thanks once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll leave the link below. Any comments or questions, let me know, and I'll do my best to get back to you. So yeah, cheers guys. I'll see you next time.